Shalom. Back again, right? Sons of Yahweh Camp. Like we always do, right? Broadcasting and prophesying the downfall of America, right? Babylon the Great. And, just building up the Israelites, trying to, call out to the elect, because we're in the last days, right? So, first of all, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, right? The Most High, creator of all things. And we do so in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ, right? As always, we want to say peace and blessings to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and want to say woe to the other nations, right? So, just going to talk about how, hey, the Most High is only for the Israelites, okay? And I know it's probably going to rub some people the wrong way, but hey, you just got to deal with it, because that's what the Bible, is going according to the scriptures, all right? So let's start out. Give me Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
This is book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
That's right. So, who is this children of Israel, right, that's being spoken against in this verse? Well, first of all, we're talking about so-called Negroes, right, who are really the tribe of Judah, okay? Talking about the tribe of Benjamin, or the so-called West Indians, right? Got tribe of Levi, so-called Haitians, the tribe of Simeon, known as the Dominicans, right? Zebulon, so-called Central Americans, right? From around Guatemala to Panama. You got the tribe of Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, the so-called Cubans, right? You got Gad, the mighty tribe, right? So-called Native American Indians. Then you got Reuben, so-called Seminole Indians. Tribe of Naphtali, right? The Chileans to Argentinians, right? From around about the western South America. Then you got the tribe of Asher, so-called Colombians, to Uruguayans, from around about the eastern part of South America. And then you got Issachar, so-called Mexicans, right? These are the children of Israel that are being spoken against here in the book of Amos chapter 3, all right? The 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, all right? So let's go ahead, give us verse 2.
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's right. Hey, the Most High has only known Israel, only known us, right? So we're punished when we go off. That's why it's more important than ever for us to get ourselves together, right? Separate from wickedness and the American way, right? We need to be as far away from that type of mindset as possible, because America is not a great, God-loving, and righteous nation as they purport to be, right? So we should not be in league with them. All right, so I want to go here to Bible Hub and have Brother Goodall to read this. It's about Israel as God's chosen. All right, so I'm just having to read the introduction to this section and then the conclusion. All right.
The concept of Israel as God's chosen people is a central theme throughout the Bible. Reflecting.
Hey, that's a central thing throughout the Bible. See, that's a lot of Christians don't even understand that is a central part of the entire Bible, right? Very important to understand that. Go ahead.
Reflecting a unique relationship between God and the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right. Really, the only relationship that's valid, not like Christianity members, Sunday morning members that say they have a personal relationship with the Most High. But no, the Most High, there's a relationship between the Most High and his chosen people. And that is displayed and is played out in the scriptures, right? Our records as the Israelites. Go ahead.
This divine selection is rooted in God's covenant promises and is evident in both the Old and New Testaments.
Right.
The election of Israel served as a testament to God's faithfulness, sovereignty, and purpose in redemptive history.
That's right. So, and we won't get into all the fluff, in that article because, it starts to go off. Mm-hmm. But that part right there is heavy, and it's, I can agree with most of what was said there. So now let's hear the conclusion of this particular topic. If you want, you can go on the Bible Hub and you can search up, Israel as God's chosen and read the rest. But, I caution you on that if you're not studying with the Israelites, okay? Because they going off. But the intro and the conclusion sums up very well. So let's get the conclusion on this topic.
The concept of Israel as God's chosen people is integral to understanding the biblical narrative and God's unfolding plan of salvation.
That's right. If you don't understand that the Israelites are God's chosen people, you don't really understand the Bible. You don't understand the narrative. You don't know what's going on, right? Go ahead.
Through Israel, God reveals his character, purposes, and the promise of redemption of all humanity.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that redemption of all humanity is the Israelites that are among all humanity, right? So, what is one of the major ways that the Most High has punished us, right? Because he's only punishing us through for our sins, right? Because we're his chosen, and he's only known us of all the families of the earth. Okay? So scattering us, right? And causing us to lose our identity, or allowing us to have our identity stolen away, right? That's one of the major ways that we've been punished for going off. All right, so let's get that in Jeremiah 50 and 6.
Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
That's right. And a lot of that is our own fault, right? It was made easier to be tricked and led astray whenever we start distancing ourselves from our power, right? Which is the Most High God of Israel, okay? So let's also go to chapter 17, Jeremiah 17, 1 through 4, all right?
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. Mm-hmm. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills, O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders.
Right. So look, it's been crystal clear, right, that the Israelites been wicked. There's no arguing that. We can't argue that. We can't say, oh, as a nation, we've been the most righteous people. Now, we're supposed to be, right? We're meant to be, and we will be. But no, we've definitely gone off, and sometimes we even have, surpassed the devil in his wickedness, trying to outdo him. Okay? So there's, it's crystal clear, cause and effect. And so the cause was us going off, right? Having teaching our children to worship other gods, them going up, setting up groves and altars, because we were in idolatry. We weren't keeping the law, statutes, commandments as we were supposed to, so we started getting worse and worse. All right, let's read on.